Record. Hey, okay. Episode 92. So Carlton, well, I told Junior he just logged on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not sure if the Blue Collar Losers YouTube channel is still up. It might be, might not be. If not, I can redo one. But screw it. With modern technology, you know what? Obviously Joe Rogan left YouTube for a while and went to Spotify to give him $100 million freaking deal and shit. And I guess 6 months ago, Joe Rogan's back on YouTube, and of course, he's talking to Trump, talking to Elon, talking to whatever. But sometimes you get like 10 million fucking views, 12 million views. YouTube, people can say what they want. And obviously, different companies, people will say, like, oh, well, fuck YouTube, go to Rumble or go to like Odyssey, go to Kick, go to whatever. But YouTube, bottom line is, I mean, whether you like it or not, and Steven Crowder said this because I still listen to Crowder sometimes. Crowder tried pushing Rumble, but people, number one, change is hard. People get used to stuff, but YouTube, hands down, still has the best interface. I mean, you can love or hate YouTube, but on your phone, and let's say on your, yeah, he's beating shit out of controller. on your phone or anything, on your apps, stuff like that. I'll mute him for now. Wherever you listen to YouTube, it's so accessible. Like I said with Netflix, now we're in the age of like, hey guys, we have like whatever fucking, there's Netflix, there's Disney Plus, there's Paramount Plus, there's Tubi, there's blah blah. But the bottom line is Netflix hands down has the best fucking player. I mean, you can't deny that shit. So YouTube, I mean, even Rogan, I tried a couple times listening to Rogan on Spotify. Mm-hmm. The podcast, the audio is fine, but the video, Spotify's video player is just shit. It just is, guys. I mean, in Rumble, I put some YouTube videos on Rumble just to have it on there. Their video player is shit. It's like, you wonder why everyone stick with YouTube for. YouTube may have stipulations and guidelines you don't like, and they're more strict sometimes, but man, it's so easy to fucking pick up YouTube. So I figured, hey, this is the audio part, and now with StreamYard, I can show StreamYard. I can show the screen what we're sharing, news articles and stuff, and the audio version will stay audio. Go to Spotify or whatever, or a Buzzsprout. But YouTube, some people don't want to listen to podcasts. Like for some people, YouTube is their podcast platform. And it's like, instead of listen to Rogan on whatever Apple iTunes or something, listen to him on YouTube. So I figured whether we get one view or 5, whatever, hey, some people may listen to our podcast only on YouTube, and I'm fine with that. So
you have a second channel?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna make one just for us, because a couple years ago, I did make the Blue Collar Losers podcast for the audio, and they were taking us down because during that certain virus we all know about, your wife was talking about it, and she was making good points, as many people did. I think now it's 2025, we can more freely talk about the unspecified virus and shit. But as somebody myself with my son, I do get weekly allergy shots. My son gets allergy shots. I was told by my own allergist, my own medical professional, saying, hey, Chris, don't right now, wait off in this fucking vaccine, and even like your wife was saying, different people, which is true, have autoimmune issues, they have allergies, and some people were allergic to different strains of the vaccine, and YouTube just nailed me fucking for that. Like, how dare, it wasn't directly that within words, but how dare medical misinformation be on your podcast? And like,
that's the issue. They're trying to have a one-shot fits all, but it doesn't. I mean,
exactly.
What could cure me could kill you. So
yeah. Well,
I mean, that's the point of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but of course, that was the whole point during the unspecified virus of unknown origin. The one, that's something Bovid 18 that was killing billions of people.
Bovine 21.
Exactly. And say, Jesus Christ. I mean,
well, I mean, you could talk about it now because of the fact that it's like, I mean,
yeah.
Now all the information is public and stuff. Now supposedly all the information is public.
It's still, like I was telling Carlton Jr. before you came on backstage, was that YouTube, I still like it. I have a great time with this platform, but man, there are guidelines. I mean, because a lot of it's AI now. Like, see, the thing is, AI will like when this uploads the audio to YouTube, it's never a person. It's very rare as a person. It's just the AI picks up certain buzzwords. Of course, we say things like, said Bovid with a C. It said, even if you say like, I mean, it could be anything. It could be like, like bag, but you say with the F version, you say fag. I mean, so, but And like anything, popularity. I mean, if a person, it's still like, you know, if Mr. Beast can say, he can say whatever he wants. He's YouTube's fucking golden goose. The guy's got whatever 300 million fucking subs. He can literally say anything because he's Mr. fucking Beast. That's why. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of offensive or raunchy shit he says. It don't matter. He's making too much fucking money for his platform for those guys to take him down. So,
Well, they have to be AI. I mean, last week we went over the statistics of how many videos there are and stuff. There's not enough people to operate that, so it has to have those, you know, hot words that, you know, they flag the catchphrases.
Well, yeah, because I mean, nowadays, it's like I said before, one of the things that pisses me off about YouTube is the fact that, you know, anything that you say about the government or anything like that that they deem is going to lead to misinformation or anything like that, they'll take down. But the one thing that they don't take down is drill rap. Like, so why don't you take down drill rap? It's clearly it has a negative influence. Clearly, it's something that, you know, does things to a particular demographic, and you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, that they decide that they don't want to, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, that's not important enough for us to get rid of. But you know, it's enough to get rid of and to point out, oh, that person is full of misinformation about the government, when it's really not. I mean, I think, what was that dude's name? Alex Jones, that they would like try to have the public.
Yeah, Alex. I still well, he's actually back on Twitter. It's Alex Jones will always be a very controversial topic because he just says he's Alex Jones. He's his own character at this point. But as Joe Rogan said, Alex Jones will say, you know, 1,000 fucking things and get like 900 wrong, but then he gets 100 right. That's just how it is. Like, I mean, you know, it's funny when Joe said that even like 6 months ago when Elon put Alex Jones back in Twitter or X now. It's like, boy, he's like, man, Alex has a lot of fucked up crazy shit. But then Joe was like, also 5 years ago, Alex said a lot of stuff and all of it came true. So it's really hard with that guy. I take him as like, you know what, and said for every 10 things he says, maybe 2 are true. But I mean,
but at the same time, though, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, though, there's a lot of things that he said that made a lot of sense and that people didn't like when he actually said it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was just like, you know, because again, you know, when it comes down to truths, you know what I mean? Like, we all have our own different perception of what the actual truths are. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, I look at certain situations, and I'm not the type of person that's just going to sit there and look at one source of information and think that that's 100% right.
Yeah.
There's too much that's out there to be like that.
Well, one thing I'll tell you guys, because it's near and dear to my heart that so it's been a rough couple of days with me with my animal, and you know, people like, listen, everyone knows dogs are lovable, dogs are cute. Carlton's had it, Junior's had dogs, and pets, you know, pets get older and things happen. Now, cats get a stigma. Cats are always known as like the female animal, and like, you know, like have a guy having cats for, I think most social circles is kind of like, you know, weird and stuff, and people think cats are just like they can't show emotion, they can't be lovable. But in my case, my cat Chloe, which is our funny is our whatever he is, our friend Mark. Mark is the one who got Chloe, but Chloe, he got her when my son was born. Cat. Yeah, really. But he got her when my son, like maybe a month after my son was born. And after my grandma passed away, Mark decided to move out. And, you know, Chloe's been part of my life the entire time, and part of, like, you know, she was growing up with my son. But, you know, when Mark moved out and, you know, my grandma died, I went through a very bad phase, like many people. And people said they have a stigma against cats. This little fucking cat, and Carlton's been with her a few times, Junior always has. And she just like was, you know, always purring, always near me. And you know what? Animals can't sense your pain and your suffering. When my ex-girlfriend passed away, Mary, you know, I talk about it too often. I went through a fucking, you know, a phase like anybody would. This cat, I come home, and no matter what, this cat was always purring, sleeping on me, need my fucking chest, and she would never leave my side. And she's been there. I mean, she's 18 now. She's been through the good and the bad. But the past week, things were different where I kept hearing, like, you know, like, and Carlton knows this as owner of pets, you know your animals. You know your animals' sounds, their mannerisms, their ins or outs. when she started, like, I know her meowing, and her meowing started changing to like a very strange meowing. And I came home, I was like, something's different with her, something's up. She's kind of walking funny. And I took my phone, my flashlight, put my flashlight directly in her fucking face, and nothing was moving. And I'm like, fuck, I think she's going fucking blind. Mind you, she's 18. It has happened. Then, when my son was last over, he was calling her. She'd walk to him. Cats know your voice. She knows my voice, my son's voice, my mother's voice. I was calling her, and she was sitting in the middle of the room, not even moving. So I'm thinking, damn, I wonder, could it be possibly is the hearing going as well? Anybody knows who has an animal, who has a pet, you put your fucking vacuum cleaner on, the dogs run around and go crazy, cats run out of the room. Took my hand vac, put it right next to her fucking face directly, had the thing on, her fucking ears didn't perk up at all. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, not only did she lose one sense, I'm pretty sure she lost both fucking senses. So I'm kind of freaking out. Like, damn, the cat, how is her health? Had my sister Jennifer bring her to the fucking vet, did some tests. The next day, hey, Chris, she's 100% blind, 100% fucking deaf. And my sister got she's like, they did some blood work on Friday. She goes, well, the blood work will come back on Monday. We'll see what her quality of life is. Because I said it, Carlton Jr., we can joke all day, but like, look, if you go blind, it sucks. At least we can still have conversations, Say you lose your fucking hair. I can still watch TV, but I can't fathom, man. If I woke up and I lost my ability to fucking hear and see, I'm not sure how long I can make it, dude. But when she was constantly meowing, like almost like this, she's like almost like yelling, like where the fuck am I? What's going on? And your animals, man. Like when she would go up and down the stairs, seeing her come down the fucking stairs, putting one point out front of the other, she wound up tripping down two of the stairs. And it was sad seeing her because she's a very viral little cat and outdoors cat. I picked her up and I walked her up to the top of the steps, brought her to the fucking food bowl, and she sniffed the food, started eating the food. So over the weekend, we made it where she couldn't come down to the basement because I'm in the basement, and when I leave to go to work, she's got the whole basement by herself. She doesn't know where the fuck she is. So we put her back upstairs. She spent 2 days sleeping on the love seat, and Mom's like, you know what, Chris, I woke up and there was shit on the floor. She goes, I'm not mad because at this point she could make it from the fucking the living room into the litter box in the bathroom. So Jen called me today. Jen's like, yeah, Chris, the vets came back with the blood work. What's the blood work? What's going on? She goes, well, she definitely has UTI, but also she has kidney disease. And Carlton would know more about this than I would, but I was like, Jen, what's the fucking verdict then? I mean, because we had a discussion over the weekend saying, listen, she's 18 years old in cat years. She's basically like 98. Most cats don't fucking live past 15. Now they can, but the average cat lifespan is 15. Some can be 22, 23, but 18 is a pretty good fucking age. And we had this discussion like, guys, if she is still in good health, considering, what's her quality of life? She can't be outside anymore, because she'll get fucking lost, And my sister's Kai is like, well, have her be an indoor cat. Kai, be an indoor cat, like she all she can fucking do is go from the litter box back to the couch litter box, and just like, is the rest of her life going to be just sitting on a couch until she dies? To the point where Mom said she gave her some water, and she put her face in the water and she could barely put her face back up. And I'm like, you can see she's getting weaker by the day, to the point where if she can't make it to a litter box, what's her quality of life going to be? And that would be for anybody, any human. Just imagine waking up and you're just bedridden. Like part of the Christopher Reeve documentary, which I did like this, and it was my top movie of 2024. Christopher Reeve went through a pretty good phase where he's like, I just unplug me and let me die. He did not want to fucking live. His wife and his kids became his motivation to live the 15 years after the accident. But I can't fathom for the two of us, with guys like, Junior's playing PlayStation right now. Carlton's got a wife and a life. I got my job, but like, to be paralyzed from the fucking neck down, a lot of people would be suicidal, and you can't really fucking blame them. The things we take for granted, just like eating food, just waking up and going to the bathroom, So for her, I mean, this poor fucking cat, like she's so her sense of smell. When I pet her, she has like this, like kind of like she's like, hey, you're there, But she's sitting on the couch and they can feel vibrations. She can tell somebody's in a living room, but just imagine waking up and like you're in pure darkness. You can't see or fucking hear anything. Plus, you're a cat. You have no idea what the fuck is going on. So we've been questioning, like, her quality of life. That it's the moral question people go through. Like, guys, we've never had to put an animal down, but like, well, we have to make that decision soon to put her down. Jen said today that she's got kidney disease, and Jen's like, they said, listen, it can't be fucking cured. She's 18. It's only going to get fucking worse per day. And like, when her kidneys eventually do shut down, she's going to be in agonizing fucking pain. So Jen made some fucking phone calls. You have to make an appointment for these things, but found a shelter and stuff. There's different shelters, but like the one shelter wanted to charge called like $300 to put her down, and like but then you have to take her home. If we want to keep her and dispose of the body, it'd be $600. And Jen's like, Jesus Christ, $600 fucking bucks put a cat down. Made some phone calls. She found one place for like basically $150, and they'll take the ashes and stuff, and you can keep the ashes and like fucking put them into the ocean or just take some home with you. And I'm like, Jen used to work at a vet's clinic, and she was there for different animals being put down. Jen's like, trust me, Chris, they don't, she doesn't feel anything. And my sister said that, and Junior used to, Carlton probably seen her dog a couple times, but Junior remembers Jen's dog, Luca. And she goes, and Carlton knows this, when they go fucking quick, because my sister brought her dog, Luca, and this dog was 12 years old. It was her baby. Jen doesn't have kids. And she brought the fucking dog to the vet, and like he just was acting different. Like he just doesn't seem like his normal self. Oh, Jen, listen, your dog, he's got like incurable cancer, and he's probably gonna die over the weekend. She goes, what? Like, yeah, like this is Friday. He probably won't make it through the weekend. She goes, you should put him down. She's like, I'm not putting my fucking dog down. He's my baby. She's like, can I get a second opinion? They're like, well, we can't force you, but take him home. She goes, Chris, not putting him down was the biggest fucking decision or fucking regret of my adult life. But she's like, Friday still wagging his tail, kind of vibrant. Saturday he started getting fucking worse, and she goes, Saturday fucking night, she goes, I'm holding him, and she's like, he's looking at me, and he started having seizures, and she's like, fuck. And she goes, and of course, like humans, he started fucking pissing and shitting himself while Jen's holding him. And she goes, he said, Luca, you okay, Luke, what's going on? She goes, he's having seizures. Basically fucking she held him all Saturday into Sunday, and Sunday she fucking held her dog as he died in her arms. And Jen, my sister, I've never seen her cry that much in my fucking life. And she's like, Chris, I should have listened to the fucking vet and just put him down instead of like making him suffer for 2 goddamn days because I was being selfish, But yeah, so they made the appointment for Friday, and Friday, it's scheduled for 5 p.m. We're gonna bring her there and stuff too, and it's her time to fucking go. And my son stopped by today. He's back at his mother's house for it now, but he's spent some time with the cat, and it's like, and it is. Carlton knows this, and Junior's had animals that the pets do become part of the fucking family. I mean, she's the same age as my kid, and my kid's turning 18 this year. Chloe's been there through the good times and the bad times, and I'm joking about it now, but I was driving my bus earlier, and Jen called me and told me the news, and I was crying like a fucking 2-year-old, man. Like this little fucking animal, I gotta say goodbye to her. It's but I can see people getting really, really attached to you. Obviously, they're whether it's your dog, your fucking pet turtle, your hamster, whatever the case may be. But I feel like a turtle and a goldfish can't show emotion. Chloe always knew when I was having a bad day. All she wanted was to lay on me, and no matter what, she would just never leave my fucking side. And I was the only person, especially our friend Mark. Like once I came home from prison, Mark was here. He's like, you always spend time with Chris and not me. And it's like, well, I wonder why.
Well, that's because he was taking his finger up the cat's ass.
That's a hidden joke, I think. But our friend Mark would say, people watch the podcast, what the fuck you assholes talking about? Like, our friend Mark would say dumb shit, like, he would joke about taking a finger in a cat's butt, and like, I'm pretty sure he's joking, but I'm not really sure.
No, he definitely stuck his finger up the cat's ass.
God, don't tell me. I hope not, you fucking sick bastard.
I call it the kitty pink. He had little names for each finger.
We're like, when are we going to talk to him anymore? Like, why is it? He's like, oh, I was just kidding, guys. And Junior looks at him like, like, why is it funny? Like, look, oh God, people actually watch this shit. Like we all got dark humor, right? Everyone does laughs, but Mark would say stupid shit like, oh yeah, the cat, the cat. What if you stuck your finger up her butt? Like, why would you joke about that, bro? Like, what is wrong with you?
He's like, well, you said it first. Like, no, you said it's like.
Yeah. So that's what's they call it to most guys? Because men are manly men, right? You have to have a fucking pit bull, a Rottweiler. Like, oh, you fucking pussy, you're crying over a fucking cat. You're goddamn right, I'm crying over this fucking cat because this cat is the only female in my life to never judge me or want something from me. And Junior, hold on. I was hearing like a lot of scratching.
Female animals are the worst, though. Never for male animals.
Make your microphone. Sounds like it's like scratching.
Probably rub it against his rough ass face.
There you go. Okay.
My face isn't rough.
I said gruff. I didn't say rough.
It's funny. It's when I was playing Remnant and stuff. You see me and Junior getting slaughtered. My friend Nick says, "I always wanted Junior looks like the fat guy." I was like, "Nick, I'm gonna show Nick the podcast." Like, yeah. And when Carlton, when fucking Junior hopped on my YouTube channel, we're playing Remnant, and fucking Junior kept dying. It's like gravity, my one weakness.
I know. I came into the video just as you were falling off a cliff or something, fighting that big guy in the center.
But ultimately, it's like, yeah. So Friday, we have to say my goodbyes to Chloe. I'm like, hey, people said it's people get. The last animal I really had, honestly, was my dog. That when I was still fucking in middle school, my father in reservation, and the dog drank some fucking bad water and wound up killing her because it was abandoned house and stuff. And I purposely animals. You guys know this. Carlton recently had to say goodbye to some animals. It's hard knowing the point that like it's like having a kid that that one day like I'm saying
not to me, yeah.
Well, I'm saying like it's like having a kid that, but the thing is, it's like when you have your kid, right? The whole point is when you have your child, that God willing, you should go before your kid. But a cat or a dog, at some point, you have to say goodbye to that thing. It's like an expiration date, and it's sad. But some people,
people may treat it like part of the family, may see it as a kid, but you raised Christian. An animal is a lot different than a human.
Well,
I can never comprehend in my head. I can never comprehend people who see their animals as kids. I mean, maybe that's a fond way of referring to them, like, they're a part of the family, but that's my baby. I'm like, no. It's like it's like animals to me are animals. I do not see them as kids. I mean, it's sad when we had to, put our animals down. It was sad, but I'm not gonna cry like a bitch like you did on a bus.
One thing is, I told my kids sometimes I think the cat's smarter than my son. So.
That's true. You said sons. You got a second son?
I said son. Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Yeah, especially you saw the Junior by his dad. I'm sure Junior's dad will put a dog over him.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you have an animal with you for a quarter of your life, it's gonna impact you. Certain people are impacted different. That's natural. I mean,
he did put a velociraptor over me, so
his stepmother, his great stepmother. Well, like I said, I get the whole like emotion. Like even our friend Ryan, Funky. I'm not sure how much you still talk to him, but like he told me that
I haven't talked to him in years. He's kind of doing his own thing.
Yeah, well, he told me at one point, he went to the military. He's seen some shit overseas. He said his dog became like his best fucking friend. Where it's like his dog got him. He's like, Chris, I'm not gonna lie, man. Some of the shit I've seen overseas in Afghanistan, this fucking dog got me through some dark shit. Since I said that, like I said with Chloe, it's when as soon as my girlfriend died, I said I was, like most guys didn't want to talk about it. I drowned myself from work, wasn't eating the fucking best, but just just coming home and having like this little fucking creature meowing at me and stuff, and I just lay down. She jumped at me, and the entire time, if I was crying or weeping or like, man, I've had a fucked up day, and I feel like shit that this fucking little furry creature would just sit there and the entire time put her paw on me and just purr and just like and the whole time I was in fucking bed, she would lay next to me and never leave my fucking side. And like there is that like that unconditional love the animal has for you that most people don't fucking have, because sometimes even your fucking kids, I mean, you should talk to Junior about.
Please don't. Please.
It's like,
please don't.
Some people see their kids as being a burden.
Please don't.
It's like, like that whole father-son bond.
I have no father-son bond. I have none of that.
Anybody new to my podcast, like, what was your friend talking about? Like, oh,
are you gonna be there, Chris? Because you got the day off.
What I said, well, I have Wednesday, Friday, because Jen's like, Chris, listen again, and that's the thing with the cat. Like, the cat, she knows me, and the second I came home, freaking pet, I put my hand on her head, and she just perks up. She started purring. She started licking my hand, and I'm like, yeah. She's like, hey, Dad's home, and I'm like, but Jen's
they still got their smell.
She still have their.
Well, it's definitely, like I said, if this is your first time in a long time, let me prepare you. I mean, it's not as bad. They're gonna come in, they're gonna expect it.
Yeah.
They'll take Chloe in the back to put an IV in her leg.
Yeah.
She'll come out, and then they'll give her a sedative to put her just to make her sleepy, put her to sleep. Then after she's asleep, while she's falling asleep, they'll give you and whoever else is there time to, last moments. Yeah. And then they'll come in and they'll do the injection, and they'll put a stethoscope, to hear the heartbeat, and then they'll just say she's passed. Yeah. And then they'll leave you alone for however long you need, and then they'll take the cat and I mean, with ours, we have a really good one here. They'll take, they took Ralph and Fatty when they passed, and they just said, we can, when we come back and get their ashes, that's when we can take care of, the bill and stuff, obviously,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's my sister basically said. Yeah.
It's pretty sad. I mean, it's like, to me, like, they're a little buddy, their little friend. They have their interesting personalities. I can't see him as a kid, but like, hey, I can see as a sort of specialized buddy. Like Munster, the damn old guy. He's blind, but he can still navigate around the house. He still hears, even though he'll look up at like a random direction, but he can still navigate the house. And he has we give him kidney food to eat to help with his issues with his kidneys. Specialized cat food and stuff. But it's against, as you stated earlier, it comes down to quality of life. Like Ralph, after the grandbabies and everyone left, she was good for a week.
Yeah.
And we were surprised because we thought, she was already old. But it's like when they moved in for the year and they brought their puppy, it kind of revitalized her. But after like a week, after they left, she kind of like, crashed hard. She was losing a lot of weight. Like the tumor in her stomach was getting pretty big. And so we wanted to do a quality life check because I don't want to put the animal down prematurely.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to prolong the suffering. So,
exactly.
We're like, we get the test on Friday. We'll, get the results back on Monday. And then, we thought about a few days and then we're like, okay, Friday, we'll just, we'll have to take care of that because we were looking at the symptoms, like puking up bile and things like that. And so it's like it was basically a quality of life with the Fatty. He was having seizures and to the point where it's like, he couldn't move. So it's tough. It's like you have to make the choice, but eventually, it's got to come. But it's like, I mean, it's sad losing an animal like a pal, a staple of your life. But compared to a human, that's completely different.
Well, that's what I say. I mean, like, I joke, saying it's like having a kid with whatever expiration date. But yeah, like I said, my sister Jen has never had kids. She loves kids, but this dog, the way she fucking like, she come over, hey mom, like
people love dog. I mean, their animals as much. I mean, I'm not saying they're wrong to do so. I can't comprehend it. I can't understand it. But that's just who I am. It's that's how I perceive the world.
Every time Jen would come over, Jen would say, like, mom, you have to watch your grandson. But mom's like, mom would say, he's not my grandson, he's a fucking dog. And like, but him, my son's 5 years old, and she's like, hey Christian, like, you have to. Here's your Uncle Luca. He looks at her, he's like,
here's your brother.
He's like, and Jen, she's what? He's like, he's a dog. Even at 5 years old, he's like, and Jen's, he's not my uncle, he's a dog. But he wasn't. Yeah, he's just like, he's such a lovable fucking creature. But they become definitely like the right, especially like, dogs, people do attach where it's like you can see a dog becoming part of the family because there's just, it depends on the dog. But some dogs, like the way Luca was, the dog, all he did was just wag his fucking tail and just lick everybody, and was just the most friendliest creature on the fucking planet, man. Just he was so adorable. You're like, you can't help but love him,
But one thing is, you have a dog. And before we move on to another topics, like with Ralph, years and years and years, I would let her out in the morning. Yes, we have a dog named Ralph because they gave him the wrong name. I forgot the story, but they didn't realize the sex of the kids named him Ralph. But anyways, I would let her out in the morning. I would let her out in the evening, let her out in the morning, evening for years. And then after, she passes, I'll be sitting there on the couch and I'm like, I have an urge to get up, like, oh, I gotta let the dog out. Oh, it's like you're just conditioned to, continue doing everything you were doing. Like, you're probably gonna hear a cat outside and go to the door, think it's Chloe automatically because, and that's the hardest part there because you've been conditioned to certain, behavioral traits over the years. That is, I mean, even now it's been at least 6, 7, 8 months, maybe I'll say about, and I still get like, I'll be sitting there, I'm like, oh, I'm good, I can relax. Like, oh shoot, I gotta let the dog out. It just happens randomly because I think I'm forgetting something, but
Yeah.
It's tough.
Well, it's like it's funny how animals, because cats have different vision than dogs. Obviously, it's more powerful. But like when I change car, like when I actually have my old car for change cars, my truck, my car, I would hit like the start my fucking block and like say summertime and close on the fucking front porch. As I'm driving down the fucking block, she starts walking down the road. I'm like, cat, what are you fucking doing? But she would just walk to the road, but kind of back up a little bit, wait for me to park. And so like she
Oh,
would,
that's good.
I would fucking park, but and she would come to my car, and I'm like, how does the cat recognize my fucking car? That is like freaky as hell. But I had many days where, of course, I was driving bus like 12, 13, 14 fucking hours. I come home, I'll just fucking just put the car in park, put my head back, and a couple times I'm like, you know what, man, I just want like a 5 or 10 minute fucking nap. Next, I heard dum, 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 like, what the hell? And look up, right, and right on my fucking windshield, she's looking at me, and I'm like, she would jump on the car, and she's like, rah, rah. I'm like, what? And she's looking, and she's on the windshield, putting her paw, waking me up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like some animals, they are a lot more intelligent than you give them credit for. But the fact that she would know, like I'm hitting the block, she knows when my car is coming, like I have all cars, and wait for me, and then jump on my hood and wake me up, and I'm like, you little bastard, man.
You know, it's funny. This is, I mean, a little switch here, but there's crows at my wife's job that goes around ripping the rubber off the people's windshield wipers like a little asshole. So like the people at work got to put socks over their windshield wipers so the crows won't peel off the rubber. And they're very smart. And if you throw rocks at them, they'll have a grudge, so they'll like start fucking with your car and shit. It's just like it's a pretty interesting story. I like when you was talking about her jumping on a car, that just reminded me of that.
Yeah, Junior. So I was muting your mic, Junior, because like we're hearing like a lot of background noise, but when Carlton was
What is
talking.
heavy breathing?
No, I think it's like the game.
Yeah, he's breathing heavily from hitting all them buttons. It's exhausting. Goddamn buttons. Breathing all.
Just background noise. There we go. Okay. He's good. Yeah, so I mean, no, it's like I'm definitely like at least say Carl. I was talking to my mother about mom's a Christian, on the res, dogs were hit by a car, or cats would just die. Like this is the first time me and mom have actually had to go put a cat down. So Jennifer, she worked at the vet's office, so she has seen it before. But it's just one thing if like come home like, damn, your cat was hit by a car, like fuck, it sucks, but like you weren't there. Now it's like, yeah, it's being in the room, knowing it's gonna fucking happen. It definitely is a different experience, but it's like, and it's weird because it's. I always tell people all the time, like with death, it's like, I said, my girlfriend Mary, I was there to identify the body. It fucked me up for a while, but like I eventually, I can talk about now 10 years later. My grandmother, I was holding my grandmother while my grandma was dying. I wasn't good for a while. My dad, I was
rough because it's like,
I mean,
I remember you two like sort of got into a fight, and that was the last time you talked to him. You guys were like pissed off at each other.
It was the whole thing, and like definitely, and one thing with Mary, and I mean, it's been a while to talk about it freely now, but
wow, that's crazy.
It's almost 10 years now, yeah. But it is the cliche, like anybody knows the stuff listening. Like they always say, the thing is that people always say stuff like, don't never go to bed angry. And that was a cliche because the last thing I said to Mary was out of anger, and she was crying, and of course that was the last thing she heard on my fucking voice was me yelling at her, and she's crying, and then next half hour later she's dead. So I'm thinking to myself, that guilt of like, damn, the last thing my girlfriend heard before she died was me making her cry, and I'm like, fucking living with that burden for a while, that'll tear you apart. So that's why people say stuff like, if you love somebody, of course, you don't expect the person to die a half hour later, but like I did have to go through fucking years of like, just getting over, like, I mean, it was just out of anger. I didn't mean it, but like still in your head, you're like, that's the last thing she fucking heard before she died. Like shit. Like, so what it is, it's like, it's just weird how it's affected me because I'm talking about now you guys on the podcast, but it was an hour ago driving a fucking bus. I'm just like, oh, there's something about just like just knowing like I have to be there, and when they inject the needle and put this cat down, because it's like the past 18 fucking years of my life, how much shit it's also a reminder of ourselves, because we got her 2 months after my son was born. So Christian's entire fucking life, this cat's been part of our life. Like that's almost 20 years, man. That's a long fucking time to have something.
Yeah, growing up, we had a lot of animals, and they constantly got hit or died or things like that. So maybe that kind of like desensitized me to it.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, like I said, they're cool little buddies and stuff, but I can't see them as a family member.
Yeah.
But they're fun. They can be fun and entertaining. something to mess with, you know.
I think
Is that a bag of potato chip you eating?
Hold on. Maybe it's where's your mic at?
No,
On my neck.
That's probably why.
I told you it's that gruff face.
Yeah, it was like holy shit.
You should get, you know, Junior, if you're gonna do this, you should get one of those stands that hold your phones for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, even too. I don't know if you have like either a Bluetooth or like even like an Xbox or PlayStation headset. Those work because I know like Al had like a wireless headset. Those are surprisingly, well, you figure people are doing Twitch and streaming. They have the PlayStation headsets. Like even me on my PS5, the PS5 headset that it comes through pretty goddamn good. So
yeah, they got a lot.
This is what I can do. Hold up, I can do something.
Do it.
Yeah, definitely. This is pretty it was scratchy. So, but yeah, no, it's fun just talking because I know at some point anybody watching this or sees this, people, you know, said their pets, you know, it depends. Like you said, Carl, it depends on how close you get to the animal. But like I said, it's just weird. Like I thought, like I was like, oh, the cat's getting put down, but it is just strange. Like knowing that now I'm gonna come home. It's part of the routine where I'm gonna come home now, and like she's not waiting for me to be here. Like every day for the past, especially 10 years, and like you know my current transit company will say some of the fucking worst days I had at work. I'm like, man, I just had a fucked up day at work. Come home, pause again. You know, I come home from work. I had a fucked up day at work, and I sit down. As soon as I open the fucking door, I'm around. I'm like, I sit down for a second.
See, that just means you're lonely. You need a real woman.
Yeah, well, I don't.
See, I come home from work, and I'm like, "Fuck you, cat," and then I hug my wife. I'm like, "That's that's what I needed. I needed some sweet hugs and some snuggling on the couch." I'm like, okay, I guess you can join us, cat. But
yeah,
you know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, goddamn animals. So, let's see if he's back yet.
Nah, he's still off, probably taking a shit. Oh, he didn't do his intro thing where he's supposed to like join the call while he's on the toilet. He did last time. So what do you got for? We got some sports shit. Do you watch sports? Or is this just some craziness that happened?
No, some craziness, but hopefully he comes back. I want to hear his take on it. Let me see if he's unmuted yet. No, well, because I want to ask you and him, like, and even if Al would be here, is that okay? So I've seen this happen like about a week ago, or I'm not sure how old it is, but so let me say.
Welcome back, fat man.
He said, "Fat man."
Oh, it's good.
Yeah,
man, he looks like he's looking down at me like I'm a delicious piece of cake or something. Look at that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's because you are a delicious piece of cake.
Got that frosting on the side there.
Yeah. Well, this happened. So apparently, this was let's see, it was actually January 12th, so it's a couple weeks old. But I watched a video. So you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Listen.
No, Junior's. I think it's again. It's like echoing now. Okay, that's coming through again.
It sounds like it's coming through his phone.
Yeah,
and it's the volumes echoing back into the speaker.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're good for now. Anyway, yeah. So this
fix it?
No, it sounds worse.
I didn't hear any difference.
Yeah, because I don't hear anything. I put echo cancellation on the settings.
There, I heard it. Yep.
Yeah, I called. Yeah, Carlton was definitely echoing. I'm echoing out too. Let's see how it sounds now. Yeah, definitely get your headset in the future.
You make all that money, can't get a headset. That shit looks like you got it from the dollar store.
Well, you talking about my headset?
Yeah, I'm talking about your headset.
It's a DeWalt headset from Lowe's. If it's like
DeWalt from Lowe's. Jesus, the people that make power drills makes a headset.
Yeah,
I mean they make some good tools and shit, but I never heard of a headset. It's like one of those DeWalt stereos where you can slap in a battery. Like, oh, let's charge.
It's pretty good. Hey, listen, don't shit on those DeWalt radios. Those DeWalt radios are good.
I mean,
that is the most ghetto shit I ever heard. I don't know why. It sounds like if you said you got it from the dollar store, I would have been happier than hearing that it was a DeWalt headset. I don't know why. I felt instantly offended for some reason.
He said offended.
Yeah. Well, if there's support in the future, maybe like your Xbox or your PS5 headset might work actually a lot better than that.
Well, it's probably because of the fact that it's on my shirt. So it's like, and so every time I move, you hear that sound because the
Yeah.
actual phone part of it is on my shirt. But
It sounds better. Yeah. I don't hear the echo anymore.
Yeah.
So I think we're good.
Well, let's just try for now. Forget into this article. It's so good. It's kind of all right. Anyway, so those a filled. It's so coming through static. I can hear it. All right, let me try muting him first. All right, there we go. God. Yeah, so anyway, a Philadelphia Eagles fan who hurled violent insults at woman cheering for Packers during playoff game. Now watch the video, Carlton. So apparently there was a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and people with sports, they get fucking psychotic. We know this stuff.
I don't know how people get so amped up on sport.
I know because we just don't either. And like sometimes you'll see the comment section on Twitter, wherever the social media. Oh well, guys, it's just part of being to the game. Yes and no, but basically I watched it. She was obviously a Green Bay Packers fan, and he's a Philly fan. And she was saying something like, oh, they're moving the ball forward and doing this and that. And out of nowhere, he just starts calling her like the usual stuff. He says like, let's see. Let's actually, we can watch her now. Here. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. Get this out.
They got one more yard though. They're close. Yeah, but they're not hitting on a touchdown. Yeah. So you don't jerk off thumb in the air. Okay, well, don't be called or don't punt.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Yeah, so apparently he was yelling. Okay, Junior back.
Yeah.
Okay, I muted you. Yes, you probably saw it. So basically, yeah, so that was her fiance in recording talking to. So he calls her this is not me, but he calls her a dumb, ugly cunt for doing this stuff. And so the Philly, what they did was Philadelphia, they wanted banning him off the from their stadium and stuff and things like that. But what I wanted to ask you guys, like number one, it is pretty uncalled for it, obviously, to harass women like this. The thing I worry about, Carlton Jr., is that you guys have work jobs just like me. We're all blue collar people. Of course, reading the Twitter sphere in the comment section, they should find out who this guy is, and of course they did. Hey, everybody, they should on social media find out where he works at, right? Get him fired from his fucking job. Get this, get that. And I'm like, well, that's a gray area I want to ask you guys about. Okay, obviously this guy is being a fucking douchebag. Not going to debate that. He shouldn't be calling this woman a dumb, ugly, fat bitch or whatever because he's heated at a sports game. Like you said, Carlton, people get weird with that. I'm not like that. I just go there to have fucking fun. But to get somebody now to fucking basically what they call doxing now, to dox this guy, find out who he is, post over his fucking Facebook, social media, have his kids, wife, everybody see this, but then go to his job. Goddamn, guys, if I have a bad day at work and call someone an asshole, not at work. Say, for instance, me and my kid go to a movie theater and somebody records me just having a bad day, but does it give people the right to get this guy fucking fired? What he did was he's a douchebag, but he's not at work. That's a gray area.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So now social media has become the new public relations. I said this time after time again. When you do things, there's a consequence. Because social media is now the new public relations. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
That's it. Like if you do something, you have to watch what you do nowadays, especially if you're being recorded. You have to watch what you do, watch what you say, and things like that. Because if you're getting recorded doing those things, obviously he didn't care about whether or not there was a consequence for it or not. So, and because he didn't care whether or not it was a consequence, now he's getting into the situation that he's in. I don't feel sorry for him at all. He shouldn't have been running his mouth the way that he did, because if any other person was sitting there, he would have got punched dead in his mouth.
Well, that's what's funny too, and that's also Big Al talked about this before about our laws with. Okay, so he was recording this stuff, right? Now it's her fiance. Her fiance was recording this. He was, what the fuck you can do about it, right? Now, by all accounts, say her fiance decked the guy in the face. I would have said her fiance's in the fucking right. However, and this is again, whether we agree with it or don't agree with it. Had her fiance decked this guy in the face for being an asshole, for calling her a dumb, ugly cunt or whatever, her fiance still would have legally been in the wrong, because there's no legal action for me calling you a dumb bitch. But you punch me in the fucking face, that's a physical assault. And That's
Oh, you
so.
got to
Well,
handle it
actually,
different.
provocations now actually count against you. That's actually not true because if you provoke somebody into doing it, it's just like defending yourself because vocal harassment,
Mm.
and because now vocal harassment is a real thing and it's a real trigger for people to get violent, and that's already been disproven. So now, at the end of the day, if you are calling somebody a cunt, if you are going out of your way to verbally harass somebody, you are in every right to physically put them in their place because you're being provoked to do as such. And
Yeah.
especially if you have it on recording that they're doing that.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely I mean so the laws are constantly fucking changing, but just I mean I don't know. So I mean everyone has a bad day. I mean so, I don't know this guy's fucking story, and again I'm not defending him. I'm not sure if like his wife left him or just he had fucking $10,000 in the game. Calling her these names is uncalled for, but like it's just like calling somebody. I mean because it's a hard sell because yes, he's calling her dumb, ugly, whatever. But what if he just called her bitch? What if he? I mean, at that point, if he called her a stupid fucking bitch, do people have the right to go back and now fire the guy? Does he have the right to lose his career? You know what I mean, or his pension? I mean, I don't know, but like,
I mean,
Well,
why
you,
is he going in a public place and acting like that to begin with?
well, also
oh
too. I
yeah,
mean, there's probably incidents like millions of incidents like this that are happening every day. He's just the unlucky one that had his go viral. And
yeah,
so by him going viral, there's a lot of, social warriors out there like they shouldn't be calling that. And I mean, he opened his mouth, whether you're having a bad day or not, you made
yeah,
choices. Your choices have consequences. And I mean, I personally, and a lot of these companies nowadays, they're doing everything. I don't know where the guy worked,
yeah,
but they're doing everything. It's about image. It's like you reflect the company, and your outburst could
mhm,
cause us to lose millions of dollars because we don't want to associate with anyone who hires him.
yeah,
So obviously, if he apologizes, that could lessen the blow, but it's all going to go away in like a couple of days. It's like, it's a flash in the pan. He's viral for a couple of days, and then people are forget about him.
Yep.
I
oh
mean,
yeah, no,
that's how I feel. People are going to
Oh,
forget
oh
about him,
no,
but
oh no,
it's
oh no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Social media got to be forgotten in a couple of days. I'm just saying, like, I mean, as of right now, the guy was banned from attending further games,
oh yeah,
which,
if he
which,
goes to any place, that's correct.
which I'm
That's
fine with that. I just said it's somebody. I mean, I guess because as somebody that's just who works a lot. I mean, I would never again, especially nowadays, because I'm self-aware. I mean, I'm not justifying the way he acted, but just I think because I've known so many people who've lost their jobs now that I always feel like it toes a line of like because if somebody says a Facebook post like that was the whole J.K. Rowling thing. I mean, whether you like her, don't like what's going on, because that one teacher got fired from her job because she's like, well, listen, I believe there's only two genders. Well, how fucking dare she say that? And the woman lost her fucking job because she tweeted like, I think there's only two genders, and then her job fires her. I'm like, it just when I keep hearing people losing their jobs, it's like it's to me,
it goes both ways because there
yeah,
was a guy who made a video, you may have seen it, who said, anybody, who voted for Trump, it's like, I hope you die. He lost his job,
yeah,
because people found out. So it's like it goes both ways. It's all, it just could be you said something stupid, you went viral, and then shit happens. I have no
yeah,
sympathy for, people. I mean, you have a way of acting. If you decide to act like this, doesn't matter if you're under the influence, you have a
mm,
choice and you chose wrong. I mean, it
mm,
doesn't matter how you got fired. You're working in a public place. If you go out there, everyone got cameras. That doesn't
yeah,
mean you can still act like an asshole.
So my thing is about the whole teacher getting fired situation because he said that there was only two genders. Around this time that this was going on,
Hmm.
Biden was in office as this was going on, and this person gets fired because the teacher gets fired simply because of the fact that we entered into that 4 years of the woke area where it was just the fact that if you said something against the current thing, look at now, Facebook fired all their fact checkers, fired
yeah,
banned all of LGBT, um, pretty much propaganda and stuff like that. But while Biden was in office, that was all a thing. And the moment that you said something against that community, what ended up happening was that you can potentially get your account banned. Now, now they banned all of that propaganda from there. So they're only just literally just keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
You look at and speaking about Trump and everything political, when they got rid of DEI hiring, when Trump literally signed an executive order telling the DEI that, hey, you're essentially shutting down. Like, you told that office that you're shutting down as of this date, and a lot of people had something to say about it. And I think, and a lot of the things that he's signing the executive orders on has to do with the fact that it stemmed from a lot of social media things. Because look at how a lot of companies fired Gen Z. Like the Gen Z, actual turnover rate is the highest of any generation in the past 100 years, since before the Great Depression. Like it's so bad that the Gen Z rate of hire is at its lowest now. And it's not even just Gen Z as in Gen Z as people, age group and stuff like that. It's a mindset. Gen Z has evolved, it has regressed to something of a mindset, because now it's if you have the Gen Z mindset, it's the companies don't want anything to do with you. If you put on and now Walmart got rid of it even before Trump even got rid of it through that. Walmart literally said, we're getting rid of DEI hiring. So they pretty much said, it's merit-based hiring now. And I think that, there's good and bad to it, because if people are biased, they're not going to hire certain people just because of the way that they look, or they're not going to hire people based on, it's inevitable that the way that you look, the color of your skin, your background, or anything like that is going to stop you from getting hired.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, the whole DEI stuff. I mean, I know even part of American History X was the term affirmative action. They got pissed because Edward Norton's dad's he called it affirmative blaction, but it is that gray area. Well, I wouldn't say gray area, but you're at a company and stuff, and it's whatever, the boss hires only white guys, okay, and he's turning down black dudes because he's fucking racist. That sucks. Also, it does work both ways though, because at the same token, you may have say whatever a black restaurant that's a Jamaican restaurant, right? He only hires black workers because he doesn't like white people. I mean, it's technically, it does work every fucking way, but it seems like you said, the whole DEI stuff. Well, a company now has to have say whatever fucking 45 workers, right? It's got to be 15 black, 15 white, 15 Hispanic or something, and that's that comes down to, if somebody say is white, he applies for a job, well, we can't hire you, dude, because our white quota is fucking filled because of DEI shit. It's well, that's kind of fucked up, because I can't get a job at your company because you have to fill up more of whatever your black quota or your Hispanic quota. How would that go then if I said, well, I'm a black dude, want to get a job here? Well, we can't hire you, bro, because we filled up our black quota. That's it works every fucking way against it. I mean, no matter what they say, it does segregate us, because a company shouldn't have to basically turn people down based on their skin color. It should be you're being hired by your fucking merit, and it would be, for whatever fucking reason. Say, if you have an aptitude test, right, and said, say I scored 90 and Junior score is a 60, well, we have to hire Junior. Why? I scored 90, he scored 60. Yeah, but he's black, we have to fill a quota. That's fucked up. But then not saying it would happen, but then people always say, oh, well, Chris, well, you had more opportunities than Junior. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. No, I want to hear that shit. That's because then you're saying Junior's stupid because of his skin color. There's plenty of fucking black dudes with a higher IQ than I'll ever fucking have. Don't say it's because, oh, poor him, he got a 60 because of his background and where he was raised, and no bullshit. There's plenty of guys, black dudes with college educations on the fucking Supreme Court. I don't want to hear he's a poor, fucking whatever individual. But it's the whole thing. It's so I guess wokeified, because you see it all the time. I had it at my bus company, Big Al doesn't work for my company no more, but he left. He worked there for 18 fucking years. We had this one kid a couple years back pull the same bullshit. When you enter my job, like any company, we have a probationary period. Probationary period is say not 30 days. You have to have be at work on time, don't get into accidents, things like that. This guy, first week in a job, he winds up damaging a vehicle. Okay, first warning. Second week in a fucking job, the guy wanted to taking a bus, ripping off a mirror. And Carlton, at one point, Carlton used to work for my company, different position. But you guys nowadays, Junior's working at his company with probation. The guy knocks out fucking mirror, and work is at 3:00, bro. Not 3:01, not 3:05, not fucking 3:45 at 3:00. the fucking second week he's been late 5 fucking times, Then come week fucking 3, he wound up like damaging. He popped the tire or something, was late again, and like they wound up letting him go. All the company's fucking racist. All the company blah blah. All the companies like against a black guy. Bro, dude, you work here fucking 3 weeks. You've gotten basically 2 accidents. You're late every fucking day, and half the mechanics here, and even the fucking CEO, well, the co-CEO is a black dude. Supervisors are fucking black. Mechanics are black. It's not the color of your fucking skin, son. It's you're a fucking incompetent moron.
No, I'm not saying at all that DEI hiring is going to lead. I said that it might lead to that with employers that are biased. That's the inevitability of that. Yes, DEI hiring at times did cause the fact that, even less competent people were still getting hired because of the fact that it needed to be diversified to a certain extent. I understand that 100%. I'm not taking that away from that. I know that, but the problem is the inevitability. There's still division to some extent. I think there's less division. I agree with you that there is less division in this aspect of DEI hiring being taken away. I do agree with that, but we need to see the ramifications up at jobs that were, up at certain jobs, because again, if you look at white collar, you got to look at white collar jobs, not just blue collar in that aspect, because there's a lot of white collar jobs that are predominantly white people, and that, and I mean, yes, granted, 70% of the American population is white people, so obviously in a certain job field more white people are going to be there, but I'm saying in certain aspects of it, the CEOs, the people who ran things and stuff like that, they're not like HR and things like that are within that company. If it's just the inevitability of certain things like that happening, where oh, you got to cut your dreads or we're not going to hire you, or there's certain things about them, like, and what I'm saying, that are certain things like with black people that they're not going to accept, like, and it's unfortunate, but it is a reality that people can't dismiss. And, and because, on the other side of things, you're absolutely right. Like, well, with state jobs, they never done that. If you scored a 68 on the state test and somebody scored a 98 on the state test, the guy who scored a 68 is never going to get a phone call, no matter how diverse the state would be. They're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you need to score high on the state test in order to think about getting a call back in a set period of time. Like that's just what it is. Like, the state will, you cannot get a job with the state. I mean, honestly, I think if you get below like an 85, they're not even going to call you back. So it's like, below an 85, I believe you fail with the state. So, that has nothing to do with DEI or anything like that. If you just don't know certain shit, you're not going to get in with the state. Like, that's just what it comes down to.
Well, I'd say in the end, like, you can call it, I guess, overall, because times are changing. This is 2025 now. This isn't the age of like the 80s and 90s like we could be used to. This is the age of social media and phones and recording. So, as Carlton would say, if you want to be an outlandish douchebag, prepare to fucking possibly get your fucking job taken away, because what you basically, with social media now, you're always fucking under scrutiny. You're always under a microscope. So it's like, I mean, we did
the way it is. We're like I said, we're old goats. We've seen it before, and we're seeing the change now. And obviously, we're like, I should be able to say this or do this or do that, and not have the public come after me. But times are changing. It's like you change with it or you don't. We don't have to like it, but people. This brings into light accountability. People can't just do what they can do anymore without somebody, reporting it, and that's fine. It's like, I mean, there's still, like I said, what we see is a small fraction. There's probably millions of instances that happen throughout the day, road rages and things like that don't even get caught. But and there's these people who do get caught. It's like, it's all about accountability. You want to act like a piece of shit, then this is society. We're supposed to, cooperate, live together. Obviously, we can't all get along, but he could have said that first line where he called her, that name at the beginning, and then he could have like, I'm sorry, I overreacted, apologize, because he could have got caught up in the moment, but he persisted, and that went from an accidental slip to something, because like we could talk to each other, say, hey, you fucking dumb bastard, or shit like that.
Yeah.
And because it's so, we say so often to each other that it could slip in a, a similar situation with someone else. And, he kept going with it. So honestly, his actions, he got fired. Well, think better next time. You can't get away. Most people can't get away with this shit no more. And I'm glad. It's like, you don't have to be a piece of shit. I mean, that just irritates me.
I agree with you, Carlton, because there's a lack of accountability throughout this entire generation of people. Like it's just one of the things that I've noticed more than anything, whether you listen to a relationship podcast, whether you listen to any sort of a podcast in general, like when it comes to just dealing with social things or anything like that, it's the lack of accountability through and through. And it sucks. And it is the harsh reality of things, is that there is a severe lack of accountability. Now, I agree with you, Chris, also in the aspect. Now, I play devil's advocate with this because I agree in some extent that if you have an opinion on something and there's no way to really dictate that somebody is saying something of hate on a simple message, unless you really say that you hate something, you really can't determine the fact that that person is full of hate. So like you said, like when somebody has a difference of opinion with current societal standards and stuff like that, you speak out on that. I agree that getting fired off of having a difference of opinion that's typed out is excessive, 100%.
Yeah,
I
difference of
agree
opinions.
with that.
Exactly. Having a difference of opinion is not, I think, is a bad thing. Everyone can have a different opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the reason, that's what we have these discussions for. I just like I said, he called her, said the names. I'm not gonna keep repeating what he called her. It sometimes it triggers, and I guess it comes down to, like my sister Jen, for example. Jen said, she went back to her college in Oneonta, right? And she was hanging out with some friends and really at a local bar and a pool. They were playing pool. And Jen was born in 1985. She was, man, she's told her friend, like, oh, that's so gay. Couple modern kids, because Jen's pushing 40. Kids 18, 21. Oh my God. She said that's gay. She goes, yeah, that's being gay. Like, oh, that's so offensive. But and Junior, I mean, come on, part of his stigma, but we're doing this on a comedy podcast where, Junior likes laughing at fat people falling down, fat people on Instagram. It's part of his shtick, and I do as well. But some people in different circles now on the internet, though, remember, like we see guys calling somebody obese is considered offensive. Well, you're fucking 400, you're 400 pounds, you fat fuck. I'm going to call you obese, but like, it would be, it's like, said what he's doing to this woman is basically offending her, right? Okay. So it's like, you're going to fire him from his job for being offensive. Now, what if me and Junior, for argument's sake, walking down the street, right? Junior sees a fucking fat guy fall down. Okay. What's he going to do? He's going to start laughing. This fat guy pulls out his fucking phone. Look, this fat guy's laughing because I'm a fat bastard and fell down. And Junior's like, you know what, then you're fat. You deserve to fall down. You're 400 pounds, you pig. Next, hey, Junior gets a fucking phone call at his job because this fat guy was offended by Junior calling him fat and falling down. He fires Junior from his job. That's where I see this kind of stuff, because everybody knows this. Anybody listening, this shit never starts. It has a snowball effect. You know what I mean? Essentially, what this guy did, again, I don't agree with the guy, but he's being an asshole. He's offending somebody. The whole offending people. I mean, I know
I think he's being more than offensive. He was being.
Oh yeah,
on the brink of.
He was being vindictive. Yeah, he was harassing her and being vindictive.
Being offensive. Like, this dude took it beyond offensive. Mm-hmm. Maybe offensive the first statement, but when he kept persisting, that just shifted into, like, he was aggressive. He was rude. He basically was not a person. It's like, doesn't matter what state. I don't know if he was a drunk or something, but it's just like, no, he took it beyond just offensive.
I mean, it's stuff that I think we take it for granted for Americans sometimes, in the sense that our quote unquote hate speech. But I do listen now, because whatever happens to the rest of the world eventually happens over here. The whole term hate speech. I mean, again, what is considered hate speech? But in other nations, whether it's Canada or the UK, eventually America, certain states are trying to push this stuff about, hate speech, like putting somebody in jail for hate speech. I'm like, well, then that's gonna become a very big fucking debate. Like, what's considered hate speech? If somebody calls this guy an asshole, oh, he hates me. I mean, it's like,
this is why, you speak up, you go to those bills, you speak to your congressman, and you have to, you speak up. It's like, just sitting there when stuff happens is not going to change anything. But at the same time, too, the world changes. things change. Think about hundreds of years ago, it was legal to have slaves, and now it's not.
I miss those.
Things change. Just because you feel like you should laugh at someone because of their deformities or something. Well, do so in private or in a joking manner amongst friends. But have you ever been bullied in high school? It's like just bullying, but as an adult, you fall down, you're overweight, you got people laughing at you. You're gonna feel shame.
Something like Junior.
Yeah. You're gonna feel shame. You're gonna feel, attacked, assaulted, and you're gonna feel offended. It's no different than that. It's like, you may think like, oh, it's just a guy falling,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But it's, put yourself in his shoes. You may be able to take it better than him, but not everyone can take it the same. Not everyone has a thick skin.
Well, it's
So
becoming
it's like
more.
you go out there, you go outside the walls of your house, you say something stupid, you do something stupid loud enough to go viral, that's on you.
Yep.
It's just
Yeah.
it's just the way it is. I mean, we can disagree about it and feel differently about it, but at the same time, the world is changing. It's growing smaller. And if you're gonna put yourself out there, you can come up with all these hypothetical situations, and these situations could happen. But again, you're listing a 1 in a million chance of something happen. Like you could play the lottery ticket and have what you're seeing are the very few cases that make light, and there's probably billions and millions of cases that these incidents happen and it's not reported.
It's true.
But, so it's hard. It's like, yes, it's both sides where you do something, you messed up on such a cosmic level that your face is across the nation. Look at this asshole, reaching into a whale's blowhole and pulling out a golf ball, whatever bullshit, or a hero, whatever. A little stifle reference, but it's just it's the way it works. We don't like it because we're like, oh, since let a man stand up for himself and a sense of privacy, and I understand that, but it's like there's just at the same time there's just things you have to. How do I want to word this? Certain level of acceptance, Like I know people who do not have the internet because they think if they have the internet, the government will listen on to them.
Yeah.
And which possibly they do, but it's like that's a little bit excessive. Versus, like we go to all these websites and stuff where we sign all this information. It's like, oh well, like with people who use Siri and what's the other one? Siri and
Alexa.
It's like I do not want that in my house. It's like people may like that, and
she's listening.
That's fine, but it's exactly she's listening. It's like I don't like that. I probably got enough devices listening. It's like there's a line I draw when it comes to the technology, but it's just the way of the world,
Yeah.
Yep. Because again, it goes back to what I was saying about Facebook, like how when you say something against a certain group of people, at first they go out of their way to shut you down. They'll go out of their way to, you know what I'm saying, to ban your account or to suspend your account because again you're saying something of hate speech. But now it's like now you're looking at things and you're just like, huh.
Everyone is gonna. You can't even wake up in the morning without probably offending someone, Chris. If everyone in the world could watch you wake up, you probably piss off half of them just because you rolled out of bed on your right side and not your left.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. It'll be like definitely next episode if Al joins us. But like I know we'll get into a bigger debate for next news article, but it's becoming more prevalent. Like they're starting to look into a whole like now the cyberbullying, online bullying, and like what's going to happen with that. And that'll be a discussion for next time we talk because the thing is social media. I mean, Carlton, you do it, and Junior to a lesser extent, but there are people, not just you guys. I've met friends through YouTube say, Chris, we have YouTube just to interact with you, but a lot of people purposely don't have Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Reddit, blah, blah, because of these reasons. But now it's becoming this cyberbullying, like, oh, well, cyberbullying, and that'll be a long discussion because
it all comes down to perspective and intent and
but
how the person takes it. Like, you see all these comments, you see all these videos where the comments, they're just so brutal that you're hilarious. You ever listen to those chat music videos? Oh yeah, I sent you guys one. Oh my god, it's just like the comments are so brutal, but it's like it just comes down to a variety of different things. Like I said, the intent,
Yeah.
everything like that. It's like, and I'm sure if it becomes like, okay, you made a rude or crazy comment, but that's the only one. I don't think that's going to label you as bullying. But if
Yeah.
you're like pursuing that person every day, every comment, every video over and over and over again,
Sounds like Junior.
yeah, there's going to be maybe there's something legal that could happen with that, to where the person's feeling. But it's like,
yeah,
it's just so many hypotheticals. I mean, that any one of these possibilities could happen, but you can't really fret. You just gotta, how do you just prepare for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna start like we start ending our podcast,
Junior.
Because we start ending our podcast and we start showing on our video now like the comments for Neve, because poor Neve, there's this chick on Instagram, like
I'll get that.
The one me and Junior keep showing you in a group chat. But
I saw you sent me the message in the middle of the day, but I didn't watch the video.
Yeah, for next podcast I'll load it up. But basically, we'll get into that next episode, because this poor chick Neve.
Oh, she's getting it.
Oh yeah, it's just.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a story behind.
I just saw the video. It's like, hello, gentlemen, or whatever.
Hello, gentlemen. Distinguished gentlemen, welcome.
Yes.
We have seats at the round table.
Yeah, we'll talk about Neve, because Neve's got a that's good.
You know her? Is this just the?
Oh no, just someone we found. But like my friend Enzo's telling me, because I told Enzo, because he did his thing last night called Tales from the Dork Side. I said, Enzo, because I showed Enzo and he pulled up his Instagram. He goes, "But dude," because now she has a YouTube follow or a new YouTube channel. He's like, the comments won't. He's like, dude, the comments will be people can't talk like that on YouTube. YouTube will take them down. But he goes, Instagram you can. But it's just, he's like, she's not the only person. But like says she's very popular because like her Instagram has got like fucking 500,000 followers. Like they love roasting Neve, boy.
Oh my goodness! I mean, a good roast is. I mean, that's a good thing too. It's like, what's the difference between bullying and roasting?
Yeah.
Like, I will be a good roast.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget one.
Roasts. Yeah.
I'll never forget this one. It says, hilarious, Neve. Put my scrotum over a light bulb and trace it with a permanent marker.
Yeah, we'll find those, because there's some backstory behind that. So I just found this random one because it's funny right here. So I just pulled up.
I mean, if you get more followers, if you get more followers, I'll be sure to enjoy the comments of them roasting you.
Yeah, go ahead. I expect this shit. Go ahead, but boys, it's like, fucking bring it.
Roast this shit.
It's like, man. Anyway, so I found this because I basically, like, as the podcast was in the past, I'll probably get in, like, unless you and Junior find different news articles, but I always go to New York Post. I got them on Twitter now because I tried filtering out comedy stuff and some relevant shit. But right here, I just found this funny where Snoop Dogg says loses 500,000 social media followers after performing at Trump crypto ball. So I'm not sure what happened, but so Snoop Dogg lost more than 500,000 followers on Instagram and 20,000 on X after his appearance at the Crypto Ball, a celebratory event tied to Donald Trump's inauguration. So I guess Snoop is a Trumper. Didn't know that. So yeah, but
he doesn't have to be a Trumper. He could just, like, if the president asks you to come, do play for them.
Yeah.
Who's gonna say no? I mean, hell, if the president say, "Hey, could you come here and do my Excel files?" I'm like, okay, yeah. Definitely, I want to sit in the White House.
Yeah, see, and also Kim Kardashian, who gives a fuck, but like, she lost 150,000 social media followers after she posted an image of First Lady Melania Trump wearing a stylish outfit, and like his Instagrams, loses 500,000 followers after Trump's. But I mean, I don't know. It's like, guys, listen, if Snoop Dogg has fucking 88 million followers, he lost 500,000. I'm sure he's gonna be okay.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, it's no different than when The Rock said he's endorses Biden and he lost his set of followers. It's like, you're gonna have these. Well, I don't want to use the word celebrities, but these artists that you follow, and they're gonna do something that you don't like, and you're like, oh, I don't want to follow them. But I would have to say, like, it's on both sides. The left, they're gonna like, oh, I'm not gonna follow you if you even say Trump's name, and the right's like, oh well, I lost respect in you.
Yeah, I thought because it said crypto.
Yeah, 500,000 after 8 million. That's
Yeah, like even here, of course, people because everyone's got a fucking opinion on social media, like shaking and crying as I unfollow Snoop Dogg on all platforms. How could he turn on us to fan rope? But again, you lost 500,000 fucking followers, but you still have 86 million.
I
I
guess
mean,
Trump is racist if Snoop Dogg wants to.
yeah, but
Do you see the YMCA?
no, I
I
didn't.
mean, the village people perform the YMCA at his pre-night inauguration thing.
Oh
no.
my god!
Oh god, he did. They literally came out on the stage and he was doing the YMCA because I don't know if you saw that viral video where everyone does this playing the YMCA and they're doing the Trump dance. It's crazy. It's like wow,
Yeah.
he came right up on stage. Oh god, he did.
Yeah. I just find this funny. So this says right here because that was a Snoop Dogg's thing, but like, okay, how to watch the Sean Combs expose, the Fall of Diddy documentary for free, but I eventually might just watch this out of curiosity. But so Peacock aired it, the documentary about Sean Diddy Combs and the allegations that land him in prison on sex trafficking charges. But what's I mean, I have to watch it at some point, but I did want to because I haven't asked you guys publicly about this, but what was your whole take on the whole Puff Daddy sex trafficking stuff going on? Like,
it's a distraction.
Simple as that. I have something funny I want to show you. Mind if I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll click on it.
If you can.
Yeah, if you share your screen, I can click on it.
Let me know if you can see it.
There you go. Yep. So.
Okay, watch this video. It's like this clip aged.
Oh yeah.
Poorly.
I completely, and Thursday, I was completely wrong, wasn't I? I had the dates wrong all this time. Did he come on out? He's
like, fresh meat. Here we go.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Look at these dancing. He's like, oh yeah, here they come.
The picture. It's like...
Jesus.
Yeah, boy, that didn't age well.
You get take it back.
Yeah, it's just the whole the friggin' I eventually want to watch it, but I mean, guys, it just like Junior said, maybe distraction, but like, boy, when Diddy went down, he was like, was he's fucking this guy, this some bitch is naming names, he's naming fucking Jay-Z and Beyonce and naming all these other around or whatever. It's just like,
I mean, the videos came out about them. He didn't need to name them. The videos certain videos were already leaked about this, about the whole thing, but a lot of the videos aren't going to be leaked because of the fact that it ties into the elite. And you know, even the elite has things with P. Diddy, and I think, and to me, I feel like that he got I mean, everybody knew that he was doing this for a long period of time. Come on, especially when Cassie came out and said the shit that she said about Diddy. Come on. It was just like Cassie literally came out and said that he was beating the shit out of her. There was a video that was out where Diddy beat the shit out of Cassie, dragged her back to the hotel room, and tried to kill her one of her ex-boyfriends. Like, okay. Like, because after she broke up with Diddy, he literally hired somebody to go blow up Kid Cudi's car. And that, I mean, of course, that was alleged, but that was actually proven, and everything was settled out of court within like a day. The moment that she came out and she said everything that she said about Diddy, within a week, she got $30 million for a settlement. Now, you mean to tell me, like, if that doesn't spell guilt, I don't know what does. The fact that you settled that quick, like. No, I mean, like I said, the elites thought in their minds that he was going to eventually start ratting people out, and what they decided to do was that they decided to pull the trigger on him. They knew what he was doing for the longest time. They knew exactly what P. Diddy was doing for the longest time. It's not like that they were just suddenly watching him and had surveillance on him. No, it was the fact that the elite was closing in on him. Because of the fact that, you know, there had been some sort of argument or disagreement between them. And he said, listen, I got all these videos and you know, pictures and evidence of you being at my freak off. So you're just as much implicated in this as I am. You know, the elites aren't trying to have that. Come on. You think the people that control a significant portion of our wealth in this world is going to sit there and really let any of those videos come to light? They'll pay any amount of money to make that disappear. and they can do it. So
yeah. Well, it's scary because people always say stuff with Hollywood and pedophilia and things like that, but it just shows you that, like, boy, it really is. How many times that my podcast was said, and just in general, like, you know, you tell your kids, like, hey guys, you know, don't raise your kids, don't make Kim Kardashian your daughter's idol, don't make fucking Puff Daddy rapper the idol for your son. I mean, because there's how much, like you saying, Junior, everybody knew about it, but like, you know, what else? I mean, number one, how many people didn't know about it, but how many people in the industry knew about this shit going on? But you know, the thing is, hey, look, he's got millions of fans. He's sold X amount of fucking albums. He's rich and famous, and I'm sure there are people out there because, oh well, he made songs that I like, because so I'll forgive him. Like, it doesn't work like that. But just because somebody fucking makes a song you like, or is in a movie that you enjoy, doesn't give them a free pass for being a fucking creep. And this shit, it just shows you, not just in Hollywood, politicians, celebrities, rappers, football players, a lot of people do some really grimy, fucked up shit. And people, I mean, I get tired of that cliche. I own all his albums. Okay, well, it still doesn't fucking excuse what he's done. Shit, guys.
exactly.
But they'll still be fans of him. You know, it's like stop idolizing the wrong people, boys and girls.
I mean, people. I mean, again, we had this discussion the last podcast episode. We were talking about, you know, certain people get idolized, and those are people that are considered celebrities. Like Mr. Beast is a celebrity in a lot of people's eyes.
Oh, hell
like,
yeah.
You know, Queso is a celebrity in a lot of people's eyes. It's like, you know, the Kardashians are celebrities in a lot of people's eyes. Like, you know, being a celebrity is a perception more than anything. It's subjective, and it's a perception. Like, you know, it's who I consider people that are celebrities that other people won't. Like, you know what I mean? So again, celebrities are, you know, there's like you said too, like, you know, there's people that's known all over the world, and then there's some people that's only known within the country. But that doesn't make them any less of a celebrity than somebody who is known around the world. It's just, you know, it's perception. And I think that a lot of people need to just start thinking for themselves, and a lot of people just need to just start thinking outside of what they believe is normal, and start just actually gaining knowledge of what's going on around them.
Yeah. Well, it is get late for Carlton. It's 9 o'clock. I'll do one more article. You know, we did an hour and 20, which is pretty good, and said next week, Junior,
time between an hour or two.
We'll start we'll start fucking showing Instagram for Neve. But I just found this I found this to be an interesting article. So look at this. Former classmate of teen sexually assaulted and strangled nearly 50 years ago is arrested in a nursing home.
Got him.
Yeah, but I mean, but 50 fucking years. So it says a classmate of a teenage girl found sexually assaulted in her Hawaii high school has been arrested nearly 50 years later in a Utah nursing home, according to cops. So sophomore Dawn Mamora, I can say it, 16, was found.
Hold up. Before you continue, Chris, 50. Now, when you hear 50 years ago, that sounds like a long ass time, right?
Of course, yeah.
That's only 5 years before you were born.
Yeah, no.
Think about that. Like, wow, 50 years. That sounds like a long ass time, and then you realize, oh God, I'm an old ass motherfucker.
I mean, I don't want to go that deep and dark.
It really weighs you in, where you're just like, oh my God, really?
Chris, soon you're gonna die. Like, thanks.
It's like I got gray in my beard and shit. I'm going bald. Like, God damn. Times.
Well, some of us have our fathers that, you know, that go bald.
Please stop.
Junior does it. He's not going bald, but his forehead's like massive.
It is.
It's
my forehead is definitely a 5 head.
It goes to the top of his head and then it stops. Like, okay,
that's what happened with guys. Like, guy won't make Junior fucking bald. It's like half his head's gone. So it's like he's
I just had a picture that it's like they say 50 years ago, and it's just like, damn, that means that dude was probably like 20 or 30 when he did this. Which usually was a white male, mid-20s to late 20s to mid-30s.
Yeah. Well, this was apparently this was a Hawaiian girl.
In 1977. Look at that, a couple years before we were born.
Christ. So she was found on the second floor of the high school in 77 with an orange cloth tied around her neck. So she was lying on her back, partially clothed. It appeared that she'd been sexually assaulted, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Damn. So the case ran cold for decades, I think, until late Tuesday when one of her former classmates, Gideon Castro, now 66, was arrested in a nursing home in Utah. So I'm just guessing, like, so what is it like after 50 fucking years of guilt, you just confess to it? Like, hey, I've been holding on to secret for 50 goddamn years. Now I'm just going to tell all. I mean,
No, cops work cold case files all the time.
Cold case files. It could be a number of things. It could have been guilt. It could
Yeah.
have been, regret in his twilight years. It could have been a number of things,
Yeah.
He
so
just had to get off his chest, who knows?
He was charged with second-degree murder, crediting the advancements in DNA. It says here's a picture there. So him and his brother William were both interviewed days after the body was found, but a prime suspect was never publicly identified, even as police for years advertised a sketch of the suspect. So the case went cold until 2019, where detectives decided to test several items recovered from the murder scene, including underwear and a pair of blue shorts for DNA. And again, so these guys have been holding on to this evidence for 50 fucking years.
Evidence, they have drawers of that shit, just cold cases.
So that enabled them to make a DNA profile of the suspect the following year, who was matched to Castro earlier this month, thanks to help from the FBI and Homeland Security. So, boy,
it's always interesting though, because it's like in a lot of the cases you read about and see, they question the suspect like 9 out of 10 times. It's like he's one of the people they question in the initial round. Like, what is that? The Peterson case? I saw that video. I saw that on Netflix. It's like, oh my goodness.
It's like right here, this guy Jeff Tahoe said, which in a weird way, he's already won with all his decades having not been captured. He is in a nursing home anyway, already institutionalized. I'm sure criminals are adjusting to the change in DNA testing, but this gives a family some type of closure, though. I hear they like to watch forensic files too. But yeah, I mean that's the only thing at this point. I mean, it is closure for the family because I mean, for argument's sake, like whatever, say. I mean, I was killed at 16 or something. My mother was still alive. I guess 50 years later, she'd want that closure. But it is. I mean, it sucks because the guy who did it, the guy's pushing 70. I mean, what's he going to do?
Like, too, like the next comment you see with Jeff, it's like another tip: don't use DNA things because law officers is like, oh, we found this guy because my cousin got a blood test and it linked me to a murder.
Like right here, I'm happy that they solved the 50-year-old case, and this is why I can't understand how all this modern technology, law enforcement, mainly the FBI, with Quantico, still can't break into Thomas Crooks's phone. Yeah, but I mean, it is. I mean, nowadays it is good, like DNA and everything, and cases get solved now. But it does suck though, man. That this happened back in the fucking 70s. But like you said, Carlton, and even to Junior, just think out there, man. How many hundreds of thousands, millions of kids or people that just cases never get fucking solved, and it's a tragedy. Like knowing that somebody killed your kid or your girlfriend or just your daughter, and you never fucking find out who did it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at a lot of like I like to watch a lot of them old, not old, but crime solving shows and documentaries about like the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and it's like it's like compared to nowadays, it was very rudimentary. It's like I mean, they didn't start using DNA testing until like 1986 in the United States, and that happened so pretty much 10 years later. And I said, as Junior said, if it's a cold case, unless there's some new evidence or something that they're like, let's go check these cases out, they're not going to touch it.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably could have solved it sooner but who's to say that, even though when DNA testing started, how reliable was it back then?
Well, so far, I mean, second week in a row, we've got a good flow of things. The StreamYard's going pretty good. We just got to fix Junior's mic next time. But I think
buy a real mic, not what is it? The Home Depot.
Well, it's perfect for work. I just didn't know it was going to be bad for this.
Well, yeah, it's just testing it out. So I mean, it's a process. I mean, we still haven't had Al. We still haven't had Al on yet because Al's got. Well, he told me he's got a wireless headset, so we'll see how that works when.
Well, I got a wireless headset. That's what I've been using.
Yeah, but no, like I said, I think an hour and a half is a good time to kill for us. And like I said, this does take time because if I have to go through it to edit out, like the yawning, like Junior just did, or just the crackling. But I'll probably just put them out 2 in a row. But yeah, during the course this week because I have to kill a cat this week. It's gonna take me time to again edit this stuff, go to YouTube, make a new YouTube account. So it's slowly getting there. But like the fact that you, me, and Junior already have 2 under our belt, it's good to be back and just hanging out with you guys once a week. And eventually, like I said, people I've met on YouTube, I might get some more friends to join us just to say funny, outlandish shit. But we'll just
just crazy stuff.
Yeah, but we're getting back into it. And like I said, you guys, anything you and Junior find during a week, just save it on your phone, give me a news article. I'll be checking New York Post every couple of days and just getting into more stuff. I do want to talk about next week more, like I said, more of the cyberbullying, because that's a topic. That's a good hour right there, because it's like, what's social media, because it's a discussion that for us, we said we're old enough, the three of us, where social media, I mean, you know what, I keep Facebook for some friends and some family, but in reality, if I shut my Facebook down tomorrow, I wouldn't give a fuck. I really wouldn't care.
Facebook, what I said, in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean Twitter
hasn't changed a thing.
I keep Twitter for my friends on Twitter and different YouTube people, but that's for me. But Christian, not him directly, because I raised him to be better than that. But there are kids right now, 20, between the ages of fucking 5 and 20, where if you shut off their fucking social media, they'd be suicidal. And that's a scary development, because remember, like, we were all raised before the internet, so we're fine. But any kid born after, like, well, just say 2000, after 2000 to 2025, the past 20 fucking years, they're very addicted to this shit. And it's like, that's, and it's only going to fucking get worse. So I don't know, man. So the whole cyberbullying thing, that's a very fucking hot topic to talk about. Like, well, you're bullying kids online. I'm like, well, then turn off your Facebook. I can't. Well, I mean, we can, but maybe a 12-year-old can't nowadays. So, but all right. Yeah. You guys all set? So
yeah, and I'll probably add something to that later. My granddaughter getting her phone too. So
no, something to think about. So all right, cool.
Yeah.
Episode 92, we're back, and said this will be uploaded whenever as soon as there's no rush to get uploaded, but it will eventually get uploaded. Yeah. All right. Hit the end button, and we're good.